in his 9 days in office, he is making a number of moves in his first 9 days in office that previous Democratic and Republican presidents had avoided. Many of his actions resemble and are borrowed from other anti-liberal politicians. You see how he uses this language? It's not anti-liberal. It's not anti-classical liberal. It's not anti-liberal. It's not anti-liberal arts. It's anti-modern liberal, as defined as reality, which is I'm articulating, and I think in a pretty good manner, if I don't say so myself, which is really socialism moving toward communism, because it is enforced in a soft, tyrannical way through censorship and deplatforming and canceling and social pressure to conform. And when you have socialism that's enforced by an authority via punishment, and that punishment can take many forms, and being deplatformed or censored or canceled or socially punished in the sense of your reputation, well, then that's being enforced by an authority, and then it becomes communism. Many of his actions resemble and are borrowed from other anti-liberal politicians, including Hungary's Viktor Orban and Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis. Now, Ron DeSantis is anti-liberal. Yes, he's anti-modern liberalism. This is why we must not call them liberals anymore. We should really begin to call ourselves classical liberal all the time and call them progressives or call them socialist or call them proponents of tyranny. Trump's critics say he is undermining democracy. I strongly oppose the president's policies, but I'm not sure that they are anti-democratic. This he's trying to be slick here. He's trying to show that he's smart, he's intellectual, and that, the Democrats are missing the mark because they're criticizing that Trump's against democracy. And he's saying, no, that's not really accurate, because the people were free to vote, and the people freely elected Trump. So obviously the people had their the day at the polls, or their month at the polls, and they voted for Trump. So how is it anti-democratic? So he's trying to position himself as being a voice above the chaos in the Democratic Party, but then just completely fabricate something on the other side. He's not honest. But I'm not sure they are anti-democrat. At its core, democracy is a form of government where ultimate authority rests with the majority of citizens. So it was clearly anti-democratic when Trump tried to overturn the election results in 2020. First of all, it depends what you mean by that. If you want to use the legal channels, and legal implying allowed, to go to court and challenge, you're allowed. Then it's not anti-democratic. You're using the legal channels, legal meaning permissible, in line with the Constitution, to challenge election results because you feel they're. And if he loses the cases, he lost the cases. So it's not anti-democratic. You can say it was a waste of time and that he lost the cases and he lost the election, but you can't say it's anti-democratic. For him challenging the elections using legal channels is not anti-democratic. Again, it's a wordplay. America is generally understood as a liberal democracy. Well, it depends. Which America? The America we used to have? Yeah, the America that we founded by the founding fathers and mothers was a classic liberal democracy. A republic, though. A republic that is primarily focused on classic liberal principles. John Locke, right? Life, liberty, property, life, liberty, estate. A word that encompasses more than just property of land. And Thomas Jefferson, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. And I want to talk about that in a minute, why he went to pursuit of happiness, why we think he might have used that instead of estate or property. So the founding fathers were protecting those principles via a republic that used the democratic process to determine who went to Washington or wherever. In the beginning was New York. It was the capital, where the capital was, in order to enact live out the government. Meaning that elections determine who is in charge, but some basic rights, such as free speech, that's the Bill of Rights, still can't be curtailed by the government. So if Trump tries to make it harder for people to hold protest against his actions, and that's coming, I suspect, that would also be anti-democratic. This is such trash. This guy's trash. The Washington Times. It's like this is like sixth grade stuff. So if Trump tries to make it harder for people to hold where is he saying that he wants to make it harder for people to hold protest? Is this because of the document he put out, about the executive order that's dealing with anti-Semitism? And part of that is saying that, if you're here on a student visa and you break the law, not protest, because protesting is legal. You have the right to protest. You have freedom of speech. Part of freedom of speech is a protest. And if there are rules, Even the American Civil Liberties Union, go to their website. They tell you how to protest. In other words, there's things you can and cannot do. They advise you. You can't just protest anywhere you want in any way you want. You can't go onto somebody's private property. So there are rules. And what we saw this, the summer with all the protests, they weren't following the rules. There are rules. So protesting isn't just this blanket thing that you can do anything you want at all times. There's legal protest. And this is what we need to talk. So if Trump tries to make it harder for people to hold, if he put legal protest in there, he might be saying something. But Trump's not trying to stop people from protesting.